it has come out
Yes.
that The Rock, Jason Statham, Vin Diesel, they actually have it in their contracts where they're not where they don't want
they're not allowed to lose
fights.
Right.
It has to be his equal amount of damage, and they're actually counting punches. How ridiculous is this?
Okay, so you know what this tells me, first of all, is it tells me that these guys have more of an ego than I even want to deal with.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't have respect for that. I think that's fucking stupid. I think that's insanely egotistical in a way that, what are you really out here proving? Are you out here to prove that you can actually do a character relatively well, or is your entire fucking shtick the fact that you can throw as many punches as your supporting cast members or co-stars in a fight? Like, really, are you really showing up? First of all, in the shoes for Jason Statham and The Rock being in the same movie, nobody's there for Jason Statham. So he's already being fucking stupid.
Maybe a few people in China. That's about it.
That's about it. People are there to see The Rock.
Yeah.
Right? Jason Statham, along for the fucking ride. Okay?
He's a good time, but he's not the huge
Dwayne is a better
driving
actor.
Yeah.
He's funnier.
More charismatic.
He's more charismatic.
Yeah.
He's 15 times the size of him. And if you think that anyone's going to believe, from the sense of that movie anyway,
170-pounder versus a fucking
that
literal giant.
170-pound man versus a genetic shit show on human growth hormone.
Yes.
And 500 boxes of pizza a week is going to be able to fucking come out victorious? Crazy. Nobody's going to believe that shit.
But that's
Vin
what it
Diesel's
is.
cut like a bag of milk.
Yes.
He's really not convincing anyone.
No.
Vin
But
Diesel literally...
It's egos, bro.
But it's egos.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that from Vin. I expected that from Dwayne.
From The Rock, yeah, for sure.
And I didn't even expect that from Jason Statham, but I can kind of see it because I think Jason is at the point in his career where he knows he's an action star, and he's in the twilight years of his action star career in terms of being like frontline kind of guy before he turns into all I can do now is the Expendables. Like, that's pretty much he's approaching,
or he's a Liam Neeson type dude.
Yeah, where there's 1,000 jump cuts for him to get over a fence. Like, that's kind of where it's kind of where we're at. It's the Liam Neeson trademark is shaky cam and 14 jump cuts to show him just jumping over a 6-foot fence. That's kind of where we're at, and he's approaching that pretty quickly, right? So, like, I can get that, and I can kind of get it, I guess, from Vin in that I think for Vin it's more about the fact that he's just rattled that his franchise has been completely fucking taken over by a third party dude who came out of left field.
Yeah, and who also made the franchise, revived it, really.
Well,
when The Rock came
up
in,
to the next level.
that's when the fucking thing blew up.
Yeah.
But it's definitely an ego thing, especially between Vince and The Rock, because you got like the new guy trying to take over. It's Vince's property.
Here's a question for you, though. So, did The Rock really blow it up, or did the shift in the franchise as far as how the movies played out blow it up?
Well, I think
because if you put like The Rock has a lot of charisma and shit, but when he first entered the franchise, it's not like The Rock was like what he is right now.
No, but he was
an okay draw.
He was still pretty, like, he was still.
He's still pretty big, but Fast and Furious was still a fucking massive franchise when he came in.
Yeah.
It had leveled, but it wasn't like it was going like nosedive.
Yeah, it wasn't
nosediving,
but it wasn't. And the movies weren't,
And when he first came in, I doubt it was Dwayne saying, "Okay, guys, we're going to take this franchise from over here, and we're going to fucking go more. We're just going to lean 90% action.
Well, we're gonna know.
10%
We're
cars."
gonna know pretty soon.
I think it was 2 movies after that, probably, where The Rock did that shit.
When the next Fast comes out, Fast 9, which we're filming right now.
Yes, which
The
has
Rock's not in it.
no Rock in it.
So we're going to see.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Hobbs&Shaw movie didn't do as nearly as well as what a Fast movie would do, but it's a Fast and Furious Presents. It's not really... They're just using the name and the characters to make another Rock...
That's it.
Another Rock movie.
Yeah.
But yes, I think The Rock did have a big part of it. Because I think adding him to it gave it new life.
Yeah, but I don't think it orchestrated.
I don't think so, but I think he was a big part of the chemistry there.
Yeah.
And it was cool to see that showdown between Vince and The Rock, and you're like,
sure.
it was hyped up. I mean,
Yeah,
what
of
other
course.
villain were you gonna get that would be like on the Rock level to go up against you know Vin Diesel at the time, especially since the franchise was getting a bit stale.
A couple of bald black dudes just beating the shit out of each other.
That's it. Yeah, like you know, it is what it is. But I found it funny about them like counting punches and shit, not wanting to look the weakest. You know, it's all about image, right? There, you know, a lot of fragile egos in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And what I thought really funny about it, and I was kind of disappointed with The Rock, is The Rock. We get it, like, dude, Rock, you're the fucking man, but you come from WWE. You're used to taking L's, getting punches, selling things, and giving your co-star its due, right?
You know what? You just reminded me of something. I just watched a little mini Twitter-sized documentary thing of The Rock discussing his career, answering questions on like, you know, his rise, et cetera, et cetera. And he specifically mentions multiple times that he learned how sometimes you have to, like, he learned how he had to lose to win.
To win. Yeah.
Right? Where he was often the guy that was losing in the WWE, and that would be the way to put yourself over in the future.
Exactly.
And you can't, if you always win, it's not going to play out the same way.
Of course.
And so this whole
they
thing
root for an underdog. It's a big redemption story. They
like
love you more. They watch you struggle.
It's like cross purpose to what now we're seeing with this.
But I think
right?
what it is with The Rock is he's so big now, and The Rock isn't. It's let's be real. Hobbs is The Rock.
Yes.
And
he's just playing The Rock.
And if Hobbs gets fucked up by Jason Statham or Vin Diesel
like it's Rock
or Idris Elba,
yeah,
it's The Rock losing to these motherfuckers.
Yes.
That's the story.
Yeah.
You know, Idris Elba fucks up The Rock in this movie because Jason Statham, Vin Diesel, Idris Elba, they can play characters.
Yeah.
The Rock plays
Rock.
The Rock.
Yes.
And there's he'll still have the same tattoos.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking thing in just about every movie. So when The Rock takes an L or it looks bad on The Rock.
Yeah.
And I think that he wants his stock to stay as the big fucking brute that beats up motherfuckers, that is super charismatic on the outside, the big teddy bear.
Yeah.
But when it's times to get down, you know, he's going to crack heads and take names. And I just thought it was funny that coming from a WWE background, that he would be more concerned about that. But you know what? At the end of the day, Hollywood is a weird place.
Yes,
you know,
it is.
image is a weird thing. You know, this is part of the contracts. Like they're signing movie deals.
Yeah.
And talking about this, there was somebody on the editing table. Jason Statham. He came out to one of the big news things. Jason Statham would come into the editing room to make sure that he wasn't being that literally counting punches, making sure that there was an equal amount of give and take. He was coming to the editing room and making sure that the right shots were there, the right angles, all this shit, man. It's absolutely crazy.
That is nuts.
It's crazy.
It's silly. But it does show you how fragile that whole thing is and what the relationship
and I can see it too
is like.
And now you've got Tyrese who went out on another Tyrese Gibson who's a fucking basket case. He's
all he's got is complaining.
That's it. And Fast and Furious.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all he's got.
Luckily for him, it's all he's going to need.
That's all he's going to need.
Yeah.
But he was crying when The Rock did his thing, and he made these long posts, and he was literally physically crying, talking about like he's taking his money, he can't feed his kids. He had to ask Will Smith for millions of dollars to bail him out. Like, dude, it's crazy. Like, he had a nervous breakdown. And so he comes out on Twitter after this movie comes out, and he basically says, "I told you so." I should probably get the tweets up because it's pretty funny.
Yeah,
where he's pretty much like, yeah, you know, respect for you for trying, but the Fast family is exactly that. It's family. You know, it doesn't work with just some of us. It only works with all of us. You know, good attempt, but it was a fail or whatever. Like he basically went on The Rock, and then he deleted some of the tweets because then you've got the Fast people that are like, dude, it's still Fast and Furious. We're under the same umbrella.
Yeah.
It's the company. We're trying to make money for this movie here.
Yes.
You're shitting on this other movie. You know, The Rock is probably going to make a return at some point into the franchise. You might want to shut up. It got to the point where they were batting each other, like The Rock and him hated each other while they were filming the last movie and
for
shit.
Sure.
And,
they were chirping each other like crazy.
The Rock would come out and just like Tyrese's album is called like Black Rose, and he's like calling it black dog shit. And you never hear The Rock talk shit about another person.
No.
But he was going in on this motherfucker because he's a whiny bitch. And Tyrese is just like, he's a coattail. He's just riding on other people's success. He just so happened to get into this franchise. Because if Tyrese was there or not there, it wouldn't fucking matter at all.
He came in the worst movie in the entire franchise.
Yes. And nobody
Fast
would
2?
care. Nobody cares.
So fucking
Nobody
bad.
fucking cares, bro. So yeah, Tyrese went on a big fucking like a big tear, crying and bitching and complaining, basically making fun of The Rock for you thought it was going to be this big thing, and the movie did well, it's doing well, but obviously it isn't like this huge gigantic thing. Now it is opening in China pretty soon, and The Rock and Statham are both big in China, so it's probably going to do big money over there, and that's the big Hail Mary. But at the end of the day, they thought they were going to have another huge
and you know what, that I'm kind of happy it didn't.
Me too.
Because then Fast would have been dead.
I saw the movie.
It would have been fucking dead.
I fell asleep 3 times.
Yeah.
I was tired, but
you should not be falling asleep 3 times in that movie.
You know what, dude? I went to Endgame at 10:30 at night after streaming 10 hours, and I stayed awake the whole motherfucking time.
Yes.
Went to this movie.
We went together.
Yes, we went together. And you know what, bro? At the end of the day, that movie it was fun popcorn time.
Yeah.
But it was monotonous, same regurgitated.
Well, you look
shit over,
and you know what?
I'm
starting to see more.
And over.
I appreciate The Rock is trying to work in like his culture into all of his movies.
All that.
But now we're
cringe.
ham fisting.
Bro, that was cringe. I didn't like that. I didn't like
ham fisting the fun. There's like a bunch of dudes with guns. And it's like, all right, we're going old school. He actually said, we're going old school.
Yes.
And then let's get a bunch of like shirtless Samoans.
Yes.
Yelling and doing whatever the fuck.
Yeah, doing the
Polynesian, like the Haka.
The tribal, Haka type thing.
So, and again, I get it. I appreciate it. You want better representation for whatever. You want to be able to lift that, that part of your culture up into movies and stuff. But putting in that movie is probably not it.
And it was so cheap. Like you all saw it in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything. But they go when they get there, they're looking for guns, and of course, Mama got rid of all the guns because there's no violence, and so they go old school, right?
Yes.
And they start beating the shit out of people with
Get clubs.
Whatever. I thought that was pretty cringe, man. Honestly, it felt so forced. Listen, if The Rock wants to give he already does good representation from being him,
yes,
and just being a fucking awesome dude.
Yeah.
On top of that, you want to do some real representation. Do a real movie about your people.
Yes.
Not some fucking action-packed, over-the-top,
here's the deal,
borderline shit.
Not going to make any money.
Learn how to act a little bit better. I'm just going to keep it real.
Or don't be in it. Or just produce it.
Or you've got enough fucking money. You work enough.
Just be a producer.
Be a producer.
Find somebody to do the directing for it.
Yes. Create a real fucking good movie and represent your people. Listen, I'm all for that. But it just felt so fucking forced.
He even got Roman Reigns in there. Brought his cousin in. Like, we need to get Roman in here.
We need to get him a paycheck.
Yeah. He was out of the WWE for a while because he unfortunately had leukemia.
Yes.
That's fucked up.
Yes.
Let's get him in this movie. And then what better way than to put him in with a club and shirtless and scream.
And doing his WWE moves.
Oh, did he do the Superman punch?
Oh, come on.
Rock did the rock bottom?
Come on.
But the people's elbow, though.
I fell asleep at parts, so it might have been in there.
That's like the one move you couldn't possibly bake into a scene.
It might have been in there.
Oh my god!
I mean, he did that he did it in what, Fast 8?
He has.
I think he did it against Jason Statham.
A weird way. I think through a table or something.
Yeah, through a table. I think he fought him in some crazy, and then literally did the people's elbow.
Yeah.
So
no, I wasn't.
And I'm Team Rock, man. I mean, how can you not like the dude?
You know
the guy
what?
ran for president, he'd win.
I like The Rock, but my stock for The Rock has been dropping like a rock for quite some time now.
Yeah, he's been working a little bit too much. Here's the thing. His quality of films have gone down.
Yeah, but the money's going up.
But money's going up.
Yeah.
Because his star power is getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
But that's not why my stock was dropping. I'm just starting to see cracks in the facade a bit. I'm starting to see real Dwayne The Rock Johnson, right? You got to remember this guy came from the WWE, right? And you had to have known this for a long time. And there are a lot of people that didn't know him from WWE. So for a lot of people, they just know him as Dwayne Johnson, right? You know, they might have The Rock in there, but it's not like they're going back and watching the archives of fucking wrestling and seeing, you know, Rocky Marciano come out and fighting with his like weird friggin' tassels and some shit. So, you know, or Malvia, sorry.
Malvia, yeah.
Marciano's a boxer. So, yeah.
So many Rockies.
A lot of Rockies. So, you know, you have to remember that his entire career, and he was one of the best mic workers to have ever entered the ring, has been
the best.
Kayfabe.
Yes.
Yes. He's faking everything.
Of course.
And so he could be a complete asshole. You're never going to know it.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see now that everyone has the ability to be an asshole. But The Rock has reached some sort of this level of success where I feel like he feels he can drop his guard a little bit every now and then. And you're starting to see some of this shit.
Chinks in the armor.
Like for example, the interview thing about him talking about taking the L for, you know, for the betterment, and then turning around and doing like this.
And he
shit.
says, and he's made no comments about this. You know, normally when there's a controversy around The Rock, he fucking hits. He comes out and nails it right to the face. He hasn't said shit. To my knowledge, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but he hasn't come out and said, yeah, these are false.
I haven't seen
blah,
it.
blah, blah. This is not it. You know, I'm from the WWE. I know all about taking and giving and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Nothing, right?
And he hasn't said anything, really, that we know of.
He seems like, honest to God, he seems like an amazing individual that is great to his fans, and he obviously is. You can't, he's a hard worker.
Yes.
But something tells me behind the scenes, this guy, and another thing is what I was hearing too, what I was reading up is The Rock, he'll show up late. He's the type of guy. His star power is getting so big that
he just does whatever he wants.
To a degree.
Yeah.
He wants to have the biggest trailer on the lot. Mm-hmm. You know, he's got to have his full fucking gym with him. Like, I mean, we're not talking some.
That's not the craziest.
No, that's not the crazy. But
that's a big gym.
You know, Iron's Paradise or whatever, God's Paradise or whatever he calls it. He takes the shit on the road with him.
Good news is that they're paying him enough money that should be okay.
Oh yeah, and he's a walking steroid, right?
Yes.
So he's just.
Especially when he gets into these movies. And then he goes off the movies for a bit. He does this.
Yeah, a little
bit. And then movies coming up.
Yeah, dude.
So, so that doesn't surprise me at all.
I just thought it was funny.
But it is a little funny. It's so stupid, so petty.
It's very
like
petty.
That's like levels of petty you didn't even think could possibly fucking exist.
It's very petty. It's just funny listening to it. Like, you know, listening to people that make $20-30 million a movie.
Yeah.
Not including back end cuts.
Yeah.
Worried about how many punches they take in a fucking action movie.
It's bad, bro.
That is all about beating the shit out of people.
It's
just fuck me.